What's the most obvious fraternization case you've seen get completely ignored? Fort Hood, 2019. Everyone on base knew about Captain Everett and Sergeant Dalton, and I mean everyone. From the private fresh out of basic to the battalion commander. They were together, obviously, completely, undeniably together. Same car in the parking lot every morning, leaving the gym at the same time. Sitting way too close during off-duty unit functions. Fraternization regulations are crystal clear. Officers and enlisted personnel cannot have romantic relationships. It's one of the biggest rules in the military. People get court-martialed for it. Careers get destroyed. But nobody said a word about Everett and Dalton. Not a single formal complaint. No investigation. Nothing. Here's what made it so obvious. Captain Everett ran the logistics office. Sergeant Dalton worked in the same building, different department. They'd walk in together, separate at the entrance, pretend they didn't know each other. During lunch, they'd sit at different tables in the dining facility. But anyone watching could see them stealing glances across the room. The kind of looks that made everyone uncomfortable. The smoking area was where it got really blatant. They'd stand on opposite ends, but the tension was visible from 50 feet away, like two magnets trying not to touch. My buddy Russell worked in the same office. He told me they'd exchange these professional memos that were clearly coded messages. Request supply review at 1900 hours meant meet me after work. Inventory reconciliation needed meant we need to talk. The junior enlisted thought it was romantic, like some forbidden military love story. The NCOs thought it was unprofessional. The officers stayed mysteriously silent. What made it stranger was that both of them were exceptional at their jobs. Everett had the most efficient logistics operation in the division. Never missed a deadline, never lost equipment, perfect accountability. Dalton was the same. Top performer, always volunteered for extra duty, mentored younger soldiers. Both had spotless records. One day, this new lieutenant named Griffin transferred to our unit. Fresh out of officer candidate school, eager to enforce every regulation in the book. Griffin noticed the situation immediately. Took maybe 3 days before he's in the battalion commander's office filing a formal complaint. Sir, there's an obvious fraternization issue between Captain Everett and Sergeant Dalton. It's affecting unit morale and violating regulations. We need to investigate. The battalion commander, Colonel Brennan, looked at Griffin for a long moment, then said something that made zero sense. Lieutenant, that situation is being handled appropriately. I suggest you focus on your own platoon. Griffin wasn't satisfied. Started documenting everything. Times they arrived together. How long they spent talking. Who saw them where. Built this whole case file. Took it to the Inspector General. Formal complaint with evidence, witness statements, the works. Thought he was doing the right thing. Protecting military standards. The IG investigator showed up 2 weeks later. Everyone got interviewed. Russell, me, half the company. We all told the truth. Yes, we'd seen them together constantly. Yes, it seemed like a relationship. Investigation lasted a month. Then the results came back. No action taken. Case closed. Insufficient evidence of fraternization. Griffin was furious. Insufficient evidence? Everyone knows they're together. How is this getting swept under the rug? That's when Sergeant Wade from personnel pulled Griffin aside and explained the situation. The thing everyone knew except the new guy. Captain Everett and Sergeant Dalton were married. Had been for 6 years. But here's the twist. When they got married, they were both enlisted. Sergeant Everett and Specialist Dalton. Completely legal relationship. No fraternization issues. 3 years into their marriage, Everett applied for officer candidate school. Got accepted. Became Lieutenant Everett, then Captain Everett. The military doesn't force married couples to divorce just because one person commissions. There's actually a regulation that protects pre-existing marriages. As long as they maintain professional boundaries at work and don't create the appearance of favoritism, they're technically allowed to stay married. The reason they acted so distant and professional? They were bending over backwards to avoid any appearance of impropriety. Arriving separately, sitting separately, communicating through formal channels. Everyone thought they were hiding a forbidden relationship. Really, they were just trying to keep their marriage from affecting their careers. The reason command ignored it? Because they were doing everything right. Working in different departments, no supervisory relationship, maintaining strict professionalism during duty hours. Colonel Brennan knew the whole situation, had personally approved their assignments to ensure no conflicts of interest. Griffin felt like an idiot. Apologized to both of them privately. They were actually grateful. Said it showed someone cared about maintaining standards. 6 months later, Captain Everett got promoted to major, transferred to a different base. Sergeant Dalton requested a transfer to the same location. Different unit entirely. Last I heard, Everett made lieutenant colonel. Dalton made sergeant first class. Still married, still maintaining perfect professionalism, still having everyone who doesn't know the backstory think they're witnessing the most obvious fraternization case in military history. The most obvious fraternization case that wasn't actually fraternization at all.